5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Kevin J. Anderson is on the phone, and he's been with us before. Sometimes when you have somebody on more than twice, I think, right? More than twice, then you start to feel like you're friends, right? The second time it starts to happen. He's been on more than twice then, right?
And I just found out he loves cream of wheat. I do too. I eat that for breakfast. I love that.
Well, there you go.
See that?
See, now I feel left out. I don't think I've had cream of wheat. I don't know if I've ever had it. What do you put on that?
It's really good. Sugar and milk. It's really good.
We saw Kevin in a video yesterday. We were watching one of the Writers of the Future. Oh, one of the promotion. It's like a half hour long thing.
Yes.
And it showed us stuff I never knew about that award ceremony, which is coming up right in a couple of weeks.
Yep,
the award
April
ceremony.
2nd.
Kevin, let me tell you his credentials. He's an award-winning New York Times best-selling author. He's the writer of numerous novels in the Star Wars, X-Files, Dune, and Clockwork Angels universe. He's the publisher of Wordfire Press. He's the editor of the 5x5 and Bloodlight series, and one of the judges for the L. Ron Hubbard Writers and Illustrators of the Future contest, which is what we were looking at yesterday, a video from that, which is where we saw him talking to the camera, right?
It's wonderful.
Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
Well, good morning. I didn't know you were going to give away all my personal secrets about cream of wheat, but I put brown sugar and butter on mine.
Oh,
butter?
Yummy.
Brown sugar and butter.
It gets all melty and brown sugar, and it's just kind of a treat here. It's not for the low carb diets, but I'm gonna go out after this interview. It's a beautiful day. I'm in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, and I'm gonna go out for a hike and write some chapters, because I do my writing when I have a digital recorder. So I'm in the middle of this gigantic epic fantasy novel I'm writing called Spine of the Dragon, a brand new series I'm launching, and I have my notes for chapter 57 and 58, and I'm gonna just go out and hike a couple of miles and talk to myself and cause great mayhem to my character.
Oh wow!
Nice.
That's like almost like a writing secret. So you're out and you're writing with your voice.
Well, that's kind of the way people used to tell stories back at the dawn of time, and you sit around and tell stories, and that's how it comes out for me, rather than sitting and typing words.
Yeah.
I'm just dictating the words, because you got to think them up in your head anyway, whether they come out my mouth or come out my fingers.
Right. But it's just interesting. So when you go back to put them into the written form, is it verbatim, or do you sometimes then change your own original thoughts and words?
Well, I do an audio file, and I have a typist, so when I get back in, I'll upload the audio files to the typist, and she'll type them and send them back to me and go, oh, I really hate this character, or something like that. And but I still have to go and polish it, because, well, here's what I'm finding right now. It's a giant epic fantasy. It's the kind of things that you can buy one copy of it and heat your house for the winter if you just burn a couple pages at a time. And big, massive thing with a giant cast of characters, and I'm out on the trail, and my character has to bump into the innkeeper that I introduced in chapter 12, and I'm now in chapter 57. I go, oh crap, I can't even remember that guy's name. So it's Innkeeper XX or something like that, and then I just have to go through and add things, and there's a lot of in fact, I'm now on chapter 57, and just last night I decided that the name of my entire land is confusing, so I'm going to change the name of it. So now, as of chapter 57, I'm going to be dictating, all different things.
A new name. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that is fascinating to me. That is like behind the scenes of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like when you see a movie behind the scenes, like you see a video on TV, this is behind the scenes of La La Land or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well, except there's no singing in my books. We don't have any practice. Well, it's funny on that. What I'm going to be doing, and I don't have the details yet. People can find me on my Facebook page. Just look up my name, and you'll find me there. And I've been going to really do this behind the scenes things, because they have so many fans that are just chomping at the bit. When's the new book out? When's the new book out? So I'm actually going to set up a website and bring in subscribers, basically, that if they, I'll charge them about the same amount that they would have to buy the book. And I will just be uploading the chapters, each draft, one chapter at a time, as I go through with this.
Oh, I love that idea.
So they get to see the drafts as I'm finishing them, see the sausage being made. And here's the hard part that's been giving us a challenge, but this is what everybody really wants. It would be on the VIP elite level, I'm going to actually find a way to upload my audio files every single day as I come in from writing. I dictate chapter 57, 58. I'll put up the audio files so they can just play it and listen to me panting along as I stumble through forest paths and hear
Oh,
the
my
train
God.
whistle going on in the background, and me going like, "Oh crap, I forgot to put this part in," and things like that. So we'll talk about really behind the
That
scenes.
is
This will
behind
be-
the scenes, yeah.
So if you guys are interested in it, just look at my Facebook page. In a week or so, I should be giving all the details.
I will
of
do
it.
that. I am interested in this kind of stuff.
And we can go to wordfire.com also.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a link on there. I write giant epic fantasy novels. Websites are hard. They're just like the most complicated things, and we keep getting people to help us fix it, and then you waste months of time, and it doesn't turn out well, and then we get another batch of people. But yes, it will be connected to wordfire.com. We'll have something up there. But the thing that I know how to use is Facebook. I've got 25,000 people on Facebook, and they all look at it, and I post every day. So that's probably more of a I put up a blog once a month or something, because blogs are like, who reads these things anyway? But I know I'm being snide. Sorry about that. I'm more interested in my characters and my dragons and my monsters and the big quests and volcanoes and the good, exciting stuff.
Nice. Facebook it is.
How many people are listening right now that are writers that are eating up every word you're saying because they want to be doing what you're doing? They want to, and that's just to parlay this into the contest that we're supposed to talk about. When we were watching the video yesterday, it was like a 30-minute video, and it showed a kind of an overview of what the Writers and Illustrators contest is about. Mm-hmm. And you were in it. You were one of the people who spoke in it, and it really, I never knew. For example, that the writers walk into the room and they see all this artwork and they realize one of them is mine, but I don't know which one. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they almost always figure it out. And that's kind of the cool thing. And even some of these, like these are the contest winners, the story writers for Writers of the Future. And there are also, I'm kind of jumping into the middle of this, so we'll back up a little bit. The Writers and Illustrators of the Future contest is for new writers and illustrators to kind of discover their talent. It's been going on for, better than I do. It's more than 30 years. I think this is the 31st year. It's been a whole lot of them.
33rd.
33rd book. I know that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they come in, but the illustrators, the idea is to train them to become professionals writers who can make a career at it, and professional illustrators. And the illustrators, as part of their workshop, what they do is they have to illustrate one of the stories that the prize winners submitted. But the prize winners don't know which one it is, so they come in and they see this gallery of there's 12 or 14 stories, and they come in and they look at all the illustrations on the walls, and they will almost unerringly go and it's like a magnet draws them to where they are. And this is kind of cool because some of it's illustration. If you've got a knight fighting a dragon with a sword, then maybe you can figure out that that's yours. But there's a lot of our winners, the illustrator winners, are from outside the U.S. I mean, you've got a lot of Ukrainian and Russian and Chinese, and I don't know what the group is this year, but some of them have these weird like symbolic or esoteric interpretations of the theme of the story, and just identifying that is
that's
pretty
cool.
And they still do. So it's this great bonding experience, and it's every year my wife Rebecca Mesta and I, we're both judges, and we go and we give lectures and instruct them. But even more important, it's kind of the after hours stuff where all the students get to hang around with, and there's a lot of best-selling and award-winning writers who are instructors, and we just hang out and hold court.
It's an opportunity that is real. I've never heard of an opportunity for writers. Robin and I speak to authors every day, and I've never heard of an opportunity like this. Was there anything at all close to this when you were first starting out?
Well, the funny thing is, when I was first starting out was when the contest was just starting. So if it was 33 years, I was a short story writer trying to get published, and I submitted as a new writer, I think 17 or 18 times to the contest.
Oh, you did?
And I never won it, and then I got disqualified. And I got disqualified the best way because I sold a novel to a major publisher, so I was no longer an amateur. But I really, really... I've been devoted to this contest practically since its inception, and I am so pleased to be a judge in it. It's one of the most important things I do every year, I think. And again, kind of to circle back to what I was doing before, that's one of the reasons why, because I can't go to everybody and do that, show them the inside baseball kind of stuff. But like I said, with this website I'm trying to put up in the next week or so, I'll get to show everybody really, here's what a writer does every single day. And as I'm uploading 2 chapters every day, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, every single day, they'll see just this is work. This is a regular job.
Right.
And in fact, there's allergies here. I had a terrible cold, and I was out in the mountains, and I was literally snowshoeing. I had snowshoes on. I was crunching up in the mountains in the snow. You can hear on the tape me just stomping around in the snow and trying to talk because I practically had laryngitis. I had so much sore throat and clogged head, and I'm still dictating my chapters every single day, even though my voice is rough and I got a headache and feeling crappy. But lawyers don't get to have lawyer's block, and teachers don't get to have teacher's block. So
that's a good point,
I have work to do. I have work to do. So
your life should be a movie. Somebody's going to make a movie of your life one day because that's interesting stuff.
As long as it's not a reality show, I don't want cameras.
Right.
All right, I just went to your Facebook page. This is you, right? Whistling Past the Graveyard?
Yep, that's me.
Okay, I'm going to add
one of my
I just sent you a friend. Oh, unable to send friend requests. Oh, you've got too many.
Oh, go to the official Kevin J. Anderson page.
Okay.
Because Facebook seems to think normal people can't have more than 5,000 friends, but we all have more than 5,000 friends, right?
That's right.
Okay, I'm going to do it. Okay, I want
official Kevin J. Anderson page.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay, that's how I get to you. Okay.
One of the interesting things we found on the video too is the 3-item challenge for the authors and for the illustrators. That was pretty cool.
Well, and that's one of the neat things this is a whole week-long workshop. It's not just go and get awards and get your trophies and stuff, which that's a cool and glitzy thing, too. In fact, I think we might do something fun. It's like the Academy Awards, and we're going to do at the grand prize. We're going to read the wrong name at the end of it and see what...
Oh, no!
We better not do that. But it's a week-long workshop before that, and they learn all sorts of techniques about doing research, about plotting, about developing characters, and how to acquire information. Like if they need to know about a bus driver, they just go out in the streets and try to interview a bus driver that they find and stuff. But one of their projects is they're given a random object. Here's a keychain, or here's a cat litter box, or something like that, and they have to find some way to write a story about it or incorporate it in a story. And they have to do their research and plot it all out, and then they have to write a short story in a day. That's one of their big things. And I meet with the kids after, well, they're not all kids, but I meet with them after hours, and they're like exhausted. I can't believe it. I wrote a short story in a day. And I was sitting with Mike Resnick, who's another one of the judges, a big award-winning author, and I said, Mike, how long does it take you to do a story? And he says, a day, pretty much all the time. And I said, yeah, I write mine in a day all the time. And so they just look at us with wide eyes.
Oh, wow, really? Oh, my gosh.
Cool.
That is cool, yeah. Kevin J. Anderson is our guest. He's in Colorado, going to take a walk and continue writing his newest novel.
Yeah.
Right now, I just went to the official Kevin J. Anderson page, and whatever I did, I hit something, and now it says pending. I guess you have to approve it. You have to approve me.
Well, I don't approve everybody. I'm not sure I should.
I might try to sell sunglasses to the rest of your subscribers. I don't know. Kevin,
well, we do get some of those, so that's why we have to. We do get some of those.
Oh, I get them all the time. All right, let me take a little break, and we'll be right back. And if you are a writer or an illustrator, and you've never heard of the L. Ron Hubbard Writers and Illustrators of the Future Achievement Awards, you got to pay attention to it. If nothing else, just open your mind. Don't be closed-minded to it. Go to writersofthefuture.com. I promise you, it is a great way to get you, especially if you're into science fiction. So we will take a little break and be right back with Kevin.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accidents. On this Monday, mostly sunny and beautiful with a high of 72 to 76. Monday night will be clear and cool with lows ranging from the mid and upper 40s inland to about 54 along the coast. Sunny and gorgeous on Tuesday with a high of 78 to 82. Wednesday, mostly sunny and pleasantly warm, high 82 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
There are only a few things in life that you can be certain will always be around: death, taxes, the pursuit of happiness, and computers. As they continue to advance at an epic pace, the one absolute certainty about them is that they'll break. It's not an if, it's a when. And when it happens, bring it to the only company in Ocala that's certified in Apple and Microsoft, Ocala Mac and PC Repair. They even offer on-site computer repair service, so they come to you. And if you do drop it off, you can check your repair status online. Ocala Mac and PC Repair is a family-owned and operated company that can do everything from mobile repair to wireless networks, fixing viruses, data recovery, even building and installing new systems. Visit online at ocalamacpc.com. In person, 1713 East Silver Springs Boulevard, or give them a call, 352-566-8324. That's 352-566-8324. Ocala Mac and PC Repair.
If you or a loved one is suffering with knee, shoulder, neck or back pain, plantar fasciitis, peripheral neuropathy, and even tennis elbow, and would like to learn about how there are treatments that may benefit you, go to drjuanyordan.com, then listen in on the first and third Thursday at 10 a.m. and hear from health professionals doing these treatments and patients who have benefited from them. First and third Thursdays, 10 a.m. Next Generation MD, right here on The Source.
Here's a 30-second news brief from The Source. WOCA Vice President Mike Pence was in Jacksonville Saturday promoting healthcare reform. United Launch Alliance launched the Delta IV rocket from Cape Canaveral on Saturday night. A sex sting operation in Gainesville yielded the arrests of 5 men soliciting minors, including 1 man from Ocala. Prison guards in Florida may be getting a raise, and Joe Rothenberger won 7 awards, including Best Film, at yesterday's Jump Cut Film Challenge ceremony. And that is your news brief from The Source.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
All right, 22 minutes after 11 o'clock. Kevin J. Anderson is on the phone. Hopefully, he's still there. And maybe he had a chance to take a few more bites of his cream of wheat.
It
with
is so good.
Brown sugar and what else?
And butter.
And butter.
Yeah, yummy.
Do you use real butter?
Of course I use real butter. I use yak butter.
Yak butter.
It's a special...
From a yak?
From a yak. Of course, I milk it myself. We live in Colorado. We have a yak ranch, and I am a fiction writer. Don't believe anything I say.
There was a story this morning out of Wisconsin. This lady is suing Wisconsin because she has to go to Nebraska to get her Irish-made butter because they don't allow it in Wisconsin.
Because some homogenization rule or something like that.
I don't know.
That's not
it's the dairy state. That's why. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that should be one of those darn regulations we get rid of.
One of the most amazing thing about you, Kevin, and the other authors, the other writers and famed illustrators for Writers of the Future and the Illustrators contest, is that you actually enjoy being with the up-and-coming authors and illustrators, and you don't mind helping them get better and giving them some insider tips. You're very generous.
It's kind of the old paying it forward thing, which sounds sappy, but when I was starting out as a writer, I had a couple of mentors that really helped me out. People, like little-known people you might not have heard of. And Dean Koontz was one of my mentors.
Oh, he's wonderful.
And Terry Brooks was one of my mentors. Mm-hmm. So if those guys could help Kevin J. Anderson when he was starting out, then Kevin J. Anderson can help the next batch when they're coming up. And in fact, some of my students have gone so far beyond me that I just literally have been asking them for cover quotes for my next book. So
wow.
I mean, a long time ago, Brandon Sanderson was one of my students. Patrick Rothfuss was one of my students. So I'm coming back to them and say, guys, could you help me out with my big
nice.
fantasy
I like
now?
That. Well, you know what? You said something else earlier that I wanted to comment on. You said you entered the Writers of the Future contest, did not win, and then you were not eligible to win anymore because you had a book published.
A major publisher.
A major publisher. And but at the same time, you've been loyal to the contest. So you didn't have any sour grapes because of not having won. I think that's, in other words, you seem to recognize the contribution the contest made, even if you didn't win.
Well, writers, I think, are different from some other, like sports players and stuff. We don't really view it as a competition because I like to read too. I mean, I don't think that because somebody else won, I should resent them, because if they won, then they wrote a pretty darn good story, and I want to read it. Yeah. And writers, I mean, because Brandon Sanderson becomes successful doesn't mean that I'm less successful. It doesn't. We're a big family. Sometimes it's like the Addams family, but we're a big family, and we all know each other, and we get into family fights, but a lot of times we help each other out, and it's just what I wanted to do with the contest. So I desperately wanted to win, was not for the prize money, although that would be nice, but I wanted to go to this workshop because it was probably the best workshop I'd ever heard of. And even if I didn't win, then later on I got to become a guest instructor, which meant that I got to sit in the back of the room and sort of audit the class anyway. So that was my devious plan, that by helping out and staying with the contest, I got to go to the workshop myself, because it's invaluable.
Again, if I could just stress, we wanted to have a writer or an illustrator from our listening area to be a guest of ours to say how wonderful it was after you won, and you went out to L.A. and you got your award, and it's just like an Oscar ceremony. I was watching the video yesterday, as I was mentioning, and the ceremony is coming up in April, right? The beginning of April?
I think the very, very first or second day of April. It's Sunday night, April 2nd. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Will you be there?
I will absolutely be there. We're kind of planning our trip out. We'll be at the workshop for a few days ahead of time. Rebecca and I will be giving our things I wish some pro had told me when I was starting out lecture. Basically, we made all the mistakes so they don't have to. And we'll be there, and we'll be hanging out with the other judges and the other writing students, and kind of doing L.A. and Hollywood stuff.
One of the artists had mentioned in a video that we were watching about doing fan art. So he didn't create the characters, but he creates. It's almost, and he was saying, is it legal to do that? And does that happen a lot? I mean, he made it seem like it was okay to do fan art. Like, let's say you paint a picture of R2-D2 and you sell it. I thought you couldn't do that. I thought that was against the rules.
Well, most of the fan art, they do it for their own enjoyment. They don't sell it anywhere. They do their Luke Skywalker paintings, or their Darth Vader paintings, or Captain Kirk paintings, or illustrations, and there are fan websites and fan magazines that similarly authors write their own Star Trek fan fiction or whatever. It's not legal for you to sell it. You can't sell it and make money off of it because somebody else does own the copyright. But that is how a lot of people got their start. I mean, when I was in high school, literally when I was like 13 or 14 years old, I had a spiral notebook and I was handwriting my own Star Trek stories over and over again.
Oh, wow.
Never published them anywhere, but that kind of taught me how to do plotting, that because I would watch the show every day, and that there had to be like this teaser at the beginning, and then the first act up to the first commercial, then the second act up to the big climax in the middle of the show, and then things get worse up to the third act commercial, and then everything resolves itself in a big climax at the end, and then you have a little teaser at the end where Dr. McCoy and Mr. Spock make jokes.
Right.
So I learned the formula, and I just wrote one after another of those, and it really taught me how to take an idea and how to develop it and go through the
That's
story.
a pretty amazing story. So while we're done here, but after we're done in a half hour we'll be done. We'll be putting our feet up, and you'll be hiking in Colorado writing another story.
That is so
or another
cool.
part of a story. All right, Kevin, thank you for being on the air with us. The Facebook page I went to for you. Oh my gosh, where is it now?
I have let you in already, Larry. It's
okay.
The official Kevin J. Anderson page. Just look for it, and you have to say please let me in, and I will let it. If I let Larry in, I'll let all the rest of you guys in.
There you go.
And writersofthefuture.com. Don't forget to go there. Kevin, thank you so much for being with us today.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
We'll be right back.
House Intelligence Committee hearing testimony today from FBI Director James Comey and NSA Chief Michael Rogers about charges Russia meddled in the U.S. elections. GOP Committee Chair Devin Nunes says Russian efforts shouldn't come as a surprise.
In recent years, committee members have issued repeated and forceful pleas for stronger action against Russian belligerents, but the Obama administration was committed to the notion, against all evidence, that we could reset relations with Putin.
There's been no evidence so far that anyone in President Trump's team colluded with Russia during the campaign. Senate hearing starting today on the president's choice for the Supreme Court. Neil Gorsuch.
Senate Democrats will try branding Gorsuch as a pro-big business judge. Republicans will argue that Gorsuch, who sits on the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals, is eminently qualified.
Fox's John Decker in Washington. Fox News. We report, you decide.
HelloFresh delivers recipes and ingredients for a home-cooked meal in around 30 minutes. Like this recipe. Start with a working couple. Add 2 demanding jobs. Mix all too well. Receive HelloFresh delivery. Trim off temptation to order pizza. Follow step-by-step recipe until holy ravioli. You can add mushroom ravioli gratin to your resumes. Fist bump and enjoy. Delicious ingredients you'll love to eat. Simple recipes you'll live to cook. HelloFresh. Get cooking. Get $20 off your first delivery plus free shipping at hellofresh.com/radio.
I know I need to earn my MBA if I want to move up. I'm looking for an MBA that offers unique concentrations. I want an online MBA that's top-ranked, established. I care about the school's reputation because I know my future employers will too.
Thinking about earning your MBA? At Northeastern's DeMoore McKim School of Business, we offer a 100% online MBA with 8 concentrations that can help set you apart in today's competitive workforce.
To speak to an enrollment advisor, text INSPIRE to 37913.
Ad Council.
Palm Garden wants to get to the heart of the matter. If you've been in the hospital as a cardiac patient, maybe you have a pacemaker, or congestive heart failure, or an arrhythmia, or perhaps you're a heart bypass patient, then consider Palm Garden as your rehab choice. With proven outcomes second to none, Palm Garden fixes broken hearts. Call today at 854-6262. That's 854-6262. Here are today's headlines from The Source. WOCA Vice President Mike Pence, during an appearance in Florida on Saturday, said the Trump administration will become the best friend of American small business. Speaking at a paper company in Jacksonville, Pence told voters that health care reform will help business move forward. In his speech, Vice President Pence said, quote, "Just the other day, I joined President Trump to listen to hardworking Americans who've suffered from these broken promises about how Obamacare is standing in the way of not only their company's aspirations, but also the hopes and dreams of the people that work there and desire to work there," unquote. The vice president touched on topics ranging from health care to the president's economic agenda. The House is expected to vote on the GOP's proposed health care bill on Thursday. Democrats and some conservative Republicans have expressed opposition to the measure. Pence added that the state-based solutions are the best thing for health care nationally and compared health care to car insurance in the sense of letting people buy across state lines. After a slight delay, United Launch Alliance launched the Delta IV rocket from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station on Saturday night. Liftoff was originally set for 7:44 p.m. Eastern Time, but it was put on hold as ULA engineers responded to an alarm regarding the swing arm system. No problems were found, and a new launch time was set for 8:18 p.m. The rocket carried into orbit the WGS-9 satellite, the 9th satellite in the U.S. Air Force's wideband global SATCOM system. It's used to improve communications for U.S. troops in the field. The Star Banner is reporting that a law enforcement sex sting operation yielded in the arrests of 5 men in Gainesville over the weekend. The report states that one of the men has an Ocala address. The report says undercover officers posed as 14-year-olds on social media after communicating via text messages and stating the desire to engage in sexual acts with the minors. The Gainesville Police Department charged the men with felonies for soliciting a child to commit a sexual act, traveling to meet a minor for unlawful sexual contact, and unlawful use of a two-way communications device. The chairman of the Appropriations Committee in the Florida Senate says they will find the money to give prison guards a pay raise this year. That was welcome news for Corrections Secretary Julie Jones, who says she can't hire people fast enough to replace the officers who leave for better paying jobs. She said, quote, "We have streamlined and increased hiring. In fact, we're a hiring machine." She went on to say we hire thousands of new corrections officers and correctional probation officers every year. The problem is I can't keep them. In many cases, I can't compete with local business and government to even hire them, unquote. Jones says it's gotten so bad that she's even lost officers to Walmart. Jones says she wants an across-the-board raise for guards and probation officers, extra pay for working with inmates who have mental health problems, and a hiring bonus for officers who transfer to prisons that are severely understaffed. The Silver Springs International Film Festival Jump Cut Film Challenge Awards ceremony was held yesterday at the Marion Theater. MC Greg Thompson announced the winners for their short films, all created in a 72-hour period. The filmmakers wrote the scripts, shot the scenes, and edited the movies within that time frame. The Jump Cut Film Challenge was hosted by the Ocala Film Foundation, which runs the annual Silver Springs International Film Festival. The award for Best Film went to Joseph Rothenberger, whose team won a total of 7 awards, including Best Film, Audience Choice, Best Acting, Best Writing, Best Musical Score, Best Use of Prop, and Best Use of Line. Congratulations to all of our local filmmakers. And those are the headlines from The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accidents. On this Monday, mostly sunny, beautiful with a high of 72 to 76. Monday night will be clear and cool with lows ranging from the mid and upper 40s inland to about 54 along the coast. Sunny and gorgeous on Tuesday with a high of 78 to 82. Wednesday, mostly sunny and pleasantly warm, high 82 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
News sure travels fast in a small town. When May's husband walks out on her, she quickly discovers she's the closest thing to a single woman for miles around, and the fellas start lining up at her door. Live on stage at Ocala Civic Theater, The Affections of May is a delightful romantic comedy playing March 16th through April 9th. Warm, witty, and full of laughs, The Affections of May is sure to make you smile. For tickets, call 352-236-2274. That's 236-2274. Or go to okalacivictheater.com.
Whether you're just starting out in your career or ready to make a change, being a commercial pilot is within your reach. The FAA has predicted that in the next few years, the number of planes in the sky will double, and that means a lot more jobs in aviation. Ocala Aviation has teamed up with an accredited university, enabling you to get a college degree in aviation while training to be a commercial pilot. And with options like financial aid, grants, and scholarships, it's never been a better time to get your new career in aviation started today. For more information, call me at Ocala Aviation, 352-861-7484.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. Each month, the peanut supply and disappearance is issued by USDA on how many peanuts are in stock and how many are planned for the new coming year. The only change this past month was a slight increase in domestic food consumption, but they are still estimating now that we produced in 2016 2,842,000 tons of peanuts. That's harvesting 1,547,000 acres, averaging about 3,675 pounds per acre this past year. The carry forward, they estimate, is going to be about 857,000 tons. Those are peanuts that get us from August all the way to the new crop, which starts arriving about October. The domestic food use, they say, is predicted to increase 1.9%. Currently, it is up 1.3%. Exports, they say, from USDA is predicted to decrease slightly this year, about 13%. But the present levels are running up 12.1%. So if we have enough peanuts to get to the new crop, we will have another banner year in peanut sales. Markets are holding strong. Old crop now selling for about $500 per ton. That's on the flex contract and the mini-max contract. One as high as $508, one at $500. New crop, going into 2017, Contracts are running about $450 to $475 per ton.
Headquartered in Augusta, Georgia, FPL Food is the #1 privately owned processor of fresh beef products and ground beef selections in the Southeast. FPL Foods invites you to visit Chattel Farms to learn about their innovative vision for the cattle industry as they showcase their brand new state-of-the-art feeding facility in Reidsville, Georgia. There are exciting plans on the horizon, and they involve working with cattle producers in the Southeast. For more information, visit the event website, chattelfarmsopenhouse.eventbrite.com.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
Ocala's information station, 13.